I think our kids came ready to play. When they showed up this morning at 7:30, they had high energy, and when it was over, there was high energy. So this team likes to play football. So Saturdays is the best day when you get a chance to scrimmage and go live. It was our first live opportunity. So impressed with their obviously focus and their want to be successful. We'll evaluate the film. I think it's an evolution. Toughness is set from the shoulders up as well as the shoulders down. I think from the shoulders down, we were pretty good. Shoulders up, we still have to be able to handle adversity situationally. But overall, I thought where we want to be after 6 practices is positive. I think some of the younger guys, and I don't mean freshmen, some of that in-between group, redshirt freshmen, redshirt sophomores, and they're the ones you think are going to have the most improvement because they're finally getting an opportunity to play more reps. And I thought that group of kids, and it's probably a core group of 12 to 15 kids, guys that haven't been on the field. Our 2 quarterbacks, they haven't played a lot. So, their progression has been good. A couple of receivers. The running backs haven't played a ton. A couple of offensive linemen who've sat and watched, and the same thing defensively. So I'm pleased with that group of kids because we need to see them grow if this program's going to grow.
So far, it's been great. The coaching staff, everybody's been very welcoming. The culture here was great. You know what I mean? Athletics are, a big part of this community and this campus. So just seeing the community support. When I'm out, going to the grocery store, you're going to see Stony Brook apparel. You're going to see things. You're going to see advertisements. Schedules for different sports. So it's just good to be in a community where you see that support for the athletic programs. I just wanted them to come in and just be open. I know that there was already some success here at the position, and I know there was some good talent in the room as well. And I just want them to be open with, the teaching that I was bringing to the table, and just really open up the relationship as well, and get to know them and allow them to get to know me. For the veteran guys, it's really just building on what was already been established here. And just trying to continue that momentum going, and just being a critique of everything. We want to be fundamentally sound. We want to make sure that we're technically sound, and we want to perfect that every day in practice. So for those guys, once again, it's just being open to doing things a little differently, but really just building. And then the younger guys, just getting to know them and being able to evaluate them, get to see them running around, and understand what my expectations are for the position. I would say the chemistry. Just really, it's a new group in terms of new leadership in the room. We have Gavin Heslop, who's a guy that's an all-conference guy, and he's been a starter in this league, and also T.J. Morrison. So really just giving those guys just backing them up and letting them know that, hey, this is your room, okay, and I want you guys to be good leaders. So just seeing those guys step into those roles and then seeing everybody kind of say, okay, this is the direction that we're going in, I would say that's what I'm seeing every day. It's just the leadership that's growing in the room.
Oh, it's been a great transition. Been a little chillier up here, I'll admit that, but I'm getting used to it. And the kids, man, one thing I've been impressed with them is just how competitive they are. They're a close-knit group, but whenever they get out on the field, they compete. So that's one of the things that I've been impressed the most with is just the competitive spirit, and I think it starts from the top with Coach P and trickles all the way down from the expectations that we set for them, and then they go out there and they have fun while they're doing it and they really compete. My biggest message was, number one, we got to play with great effort. The second thing is we got to be sound fundamentally, and we got to know our assignments. So those are some of the things that I'm stressed the most is we got to be, like I said, sound fundamentally and make sure that we're putting ourselves in good situation to make plays, and the best ability is reliability. So if you're not a guy that we can trust on a play in and play out scenario to execute your assignment, it's going to be hard for you to set yourself up to be able to make plays on the field. So those are the biggest things that I'm stressing right now is, number one, make sure you're sound on your assignments, and number two, just continuing to get better fundamentally every day. I think those guys have a lot of potential and are going to be able to make a lot of plays for us this upcoming season. They both have been guys that have played here. They put together some good games, but the biggest thing with them is being able to stay healthy and being consistent. So that's been the biggest message with them is, number one, making sure you're taking care of your body so that you're going to be available to be on the field. And number two is just always being consistent. So those are things on a daily basis that I'm stressing with those guys, and I always tell them occasional consistency is better than occasional greatness, and those are the things that I really want to see from those guys. And I think they've done a good job with the room from a leadership standpoint, making sure everybody's on task and competing and whatnot. And I told them it's going to start with them and trickle its way down with how successful we're going to be in the room, starting with those guys. Oh, it's been great. Like I said, the weather's been a little bit of an adjustment, but the people over here, I thought it – maybe being in the Northeast, it might be a little different as far as not being as hospitable like it is in the South. But the hospitality's been great up here. The people's been great. Been to some really good restaurants out here. Got some good food, and really enjoy working with all the guys on staff. I feel like we have a close-knit group, and the players have been great. They're real respectful. They come ready to work and prepared every day, and I've been very impressed with that.